Tonight, a Pritchard man is fighting for his life.
Ontario Stewart was shot in the head last week. His mother claims the Pritchard Police Department did very little to help her son or catch the shooter.
Fox 10 News reporter Paige Malone went to the police chief to get some answers. She joins us now live in the studio with those answers. Paige?
Well, Bob, Lisa Stewart says the only reason her 32-year-old son's alive is a good Samaritan. She claims the Pritchard Police Department didn't even show up at the scene. After repeated calls, she also claims an officer even went as far as to threaten her. But the police chief is telling a completely different story. Lisa Stewart says at 1:30 Thursday morning, her son, Ontario, was dragged around this building and shot in the head. Stewart says he was left for dead and Pritchard police were nowhere to be found.
I'm only concerned about why then an officer come out to the scene. My child could have died right here. Still don't know if my child gonna make it through or not.
A good Samaritan carried Ontario to a nearby house. The residents drove him to the hospital. Stewart says police didn't respond until she called the chief around 7 a.m.
I didn't need him at 7 a.m. that morning. I needed the Pritchard here when I'm standing about 1:30 a.m. that morning when my child could have died.
Pritchard Police Chief Jimmy Gardner says police did respond to the report of the shooting, but when they arrived there was nothing and no one around.
We have interviewed several individuals as it relates to it. I think after the victim get where he can communicate, because he's going to have the best known information as it relates to what took place, who he was with, what he was doing at the time of the event, that we may be able to bring some quicker closure to it rather than an irate parent.
Police want to know if Stewart, who has a lengthy arrest record, was committing a crime at the time he was shot. Does that make it any less important?
No, it does not. But at the same time, that person was shot by someone, and yes, that's a crime. But that person put themselves in grave way when they came out and engaged in what they engaged in.
Gardner denies the department threatened Ms. Stewart. He says Stewart and others should shift their energy to helping loved ones before crimes happen.
You know that it's happening in their life. Take that energy that you have and use it to find that person help, or assist that person in getting them back on the right road in the right direction.
Chief Gardner says although they have interviewed several people, there hasn't been an arrest. In the meantime, Stewart says her son is in critical condition and she hasn't heard from the police about the investigation.